Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you?
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it.
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But that's all the way in Inazuma. Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their... Great! Let's go find out what this
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're...
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course. This is my first time coming...
Sawada, for the love of... traveler, I hear you've helped...
Actually, we don't know much about that.
I see. My teacher chose this area of...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that...
Well, fair point. In that...
Let me give you some background. But in the end, he threw it. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the...
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted... It just so happens that a friend of... Even back then, Tataras...
Wait, so there are two missing...
That's right! What's more...
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. Something then seems to have happened.
the Kaidahara clan.
Sawada, you left out the big...
Oh, yes, of course.
Get to the point, for Pete...
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the...
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on...
No! Paimon...
I agree. It does.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be... Oh! How about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting...
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say...
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the Balladeer? Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt. If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many Ah! Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see. Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or...
Sure.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, it was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made... A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said...
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you...
well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. But... Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
Well, I, for one, have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes. One in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make... Wait a second. Former? You mean, he's not a Harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. Well, if the Fatui are gonna
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings. And you said you need protection.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear. Don't you?
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your... Yes.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today.
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not It's possible that the Fatui have other information. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, the amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Exactly! Or what if...
I understand. But sometimes, how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And our minds have connected several times before. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, if this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure,
Paimon's still worried about this idea.
I was going to contact you about that, but then, in fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the even though he only has a fraction of his full power left. That's still a fraction of... Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now...
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of... Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so... say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option...
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all...
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon. Yes, I've also invited Paimon to...
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends.
Paimon's never tried this before, so Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit...
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabukimono...
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now...
Oh? How interesting.
So the Gese got it...
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones...
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I'm... Of course you do. You can't...
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You...
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can... Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with them.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk?
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to...
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me under your leadership. Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming... As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, the forging industry with crystal... skills, blood...
Yes, well... You allowed Akame to... Even now, you remain one of Tatar...
You flatter me. From the...
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir...
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuk... But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring...
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family...
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, it's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I see.
If you kill me, there's no one—
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but...
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But... this makes no sense.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui?
Just to create a minor...
That's it? That's why you...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by some...
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become Mr. Niwa? Already dead. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner working. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore? Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory.
Maybe so. But
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the You know very well what that means.
Let's give him some space. He looks real.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
I'm not still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So,
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device." The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dotori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabuki Mono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow. Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out!
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on...
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though we're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Hello, traveler. Have you ever heard of a moment of dreams?
Oh, that sounds like some kind of...
I'm afraid not. Dreams have become quite the hot... The same goes for me.
Oh, right.
Yes, we organized an event to give... And thus our event, A Moment of Dreams, was born.
So, it's kind of like a fireside chat.
You could say that. We hear all sorts of wild and fabulous stories every day. Really?
Yeah, but to us... Wait, but if there are free drinks and snacks involved, then Paimon might consider it.
Oh, really? So you mean you've already seen many dreams?
But no need to get so excited. It's really nothing special.
No. We need experienced participants like you to share your... Please allow me to address you two as dream experts.
Oh, expert?
Now you seem interested. Rest assured, you'll...
Wow. Sign us up. But wait, Paimon's getting ahead of herself again. We should see what the trap... why aren't you saying anything? All right, hurry up.
There...
Do you know what's the most important part of being an expert?
Well, I suppose it must be accumulating knowledge and sharing your
How's everything going with your thesis?
I should be able to publish it next month. A few days ago, I was worried that I'd have to stop my work on it. Thankfully, that didn't come to pass.
Well, Azar was one of your thesis advisors. Honestly, I was afraid that you might have gotten tracked.
The newly appointed acting Grand Sage reviewed all of our
Acting Grand Sage?
Yeah, I heard that selecting new but it's all thanks to him that our research results... Once my paper is published, I'm definitely giving myself a long vacation.
They're really out of their minds, making Al-Haytham the acting Grand Sage?
Take it easy, Professor. I'm puzzled as well. Just going by qualification.
Fool! Do you think I'm angry because I wasn't chosen for the position? No! It's because he was one of my students, but he rarely attended class. When I asked him about it, he retorted that what brazen arrogance, misery of miseries, for the academia to have him as the acting Grand...
Professor, don't get so worked up.
Psst. Want to hear a secret? I've heard the new acting Grand Sage is from...
Really? Who is it?
Someone named Al-Haytham. Never met him myself, but he's a real hot topic right now. Lots of things being said about him. Hard to tell what's true and what isn't, though. There's also a Vahumana scholar who's been in the spotlight recently. They say that he's a likely pick to be one of the next sages.
Oh, is he teaching any
Wow. News of Al-Haytham being the acting Grand Sage sure spread fast. Some people don't know who he is. Some people are saying good things and others bad. Hey, are you okay? You don't look too good.
The Matra.
The Matra?
I'm Ilias. I have to talk to a Matra about...
In the state you're in? You shouldn't put... Why don't you tell us what happened and we'll pass on your message to a Matra?
No, I have to tell them myself. They are the only ones I could trust. Sorry, can you lend me your arm? This is an important matter. Failure is not an option.
Since you put it that way, fine, we'll take you. We promised to take him to a Matra, but we don't know that many, do we? Oh, wait, Sino should be back at the Academia. Let's go find him. Nope, it's all about the title. From now on, Paimon will be known as expert.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt, everyone. We finally have some real dream experts joining us. Esteemed experts, this way, please. Ahem. Now, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask them.
They must be dream experts from another land. Great!
Oh, I have a question. Me first! Me first! No rush. Everyone, please line up and ask in an orderly fashion.
Whoa. Paimon didn't expect them to be so enthusiastic.
My question is simple. My everyday life is very difficult, so I would like to become a slime in my dreams. How can I do that?
Oh, Paimon knew! The first time, the second time, the third time, and the fourth time, but then the boar showed up with all of...
Wait, why did all of your dreams and...
Because slimes are monsters, even the things don't tend to end well for monsters. Believe Paimon.
I suppose you're right. I just want to experience a different life. Maybe I'd be happier if I became just a regular finch. Or fish.
Looks like being an expert is way easier than Paimon imagined. Next!
Oh, it's my turn. Esteemed expert, I want to know what posture I should sleep in so I can have the same dream as the one I had last night.
Well? Hey, you're supposed to be helping. First, why don't you tell Paimon about the dream you want to have again?
Oh, it's quite ordinary. I sat and chatted with my wife on a sunny day, listening to the breeze blowing through the valley.
Why don't you just find your wife and talk with her? There's no need to wait.
Well, unfortunately, she passed away.
Oh,
No, it's fine. I didn't make that clear.
yeah, it's not really about posture.
Oh, is that all I have?
Think about it. If you're the...
You do have a point.
Oh, my turn, my turn. I want to bring the souvenir box to my room into my dream.
I dreamt of a raven flying over the wasteland last night. Does that have any kind of special meaning?
Hey, no rush! One at a time! Their questions were way too difficult. We don't actually know anything more than they do. We're just more experienced dreamers, that's all. You do have a point. It's more right now, these people... Oh, and now that Paimon has said that, you know who comes to mind? Bingo! If she was here, she'd probably... Unfortunately, she's super busy right now.
Dear experts, we have another guest who...
But you saw how we answered all the questions just now. We're not really all that knowledgeable.
Ah, but this guest...
My question is...
Huh? Nahida, how did you get here?
Interesting events like a moment of dreams don't happen every day after all. No matter how... Anyway, I really didn't expect to meet you here.
Oh, right! If there's anyone that understands dreams, it's you! You should be able to help.
You're not wrong. All right, they can ask me... Huh? What's wrong? You were all so excited a minute ago. Why the sudden... Even so... And in terms of reputation and renown, you've also done many great things in Sumeru. Yet they didn't even flinch at you. interesting questions have all been...
That's not true, Nahida.
I don't want to get in the way of the original purpose of a moment of dreams, which is to let people gather. Now the atmosphere here is like water poured into a container. I just want it to be another drop in the water, not the cold and restrictive container.
She's sulking. Hey! It's a...
All right. I'll give it a try.
Oh, it's the slime guy.
Hey, drop the nicknames, would you? Besides, I don't want to become a slime anymore. Maybe...
I see. So you want to become a small animal in your dreams?
I guess I just want to experience something different. The sky is right above me, and the ocean just over...
So you want to experience something new in your dreams?
Because if I don't work, I won't have any Mora. Sure, I don't want to be out hammering By the time this all dawned on me, I realized that my life has already been filled to the brim by
But if that's the case, then even if you became a flying... The reason is you've already been caged.
Really? That...
I don't know everything.
Huh?
That's right. Having...
Well, of course. A good hammer needs to... Come to think of it, I haven't replaced my...
You should replace it. Then decorate the handle with something you like. Maybe some ornaments, fur, or hard leather wrapping. Then, right...
That makes sense. I think it'd give me a good...
A new sense of adventure often begins with the little things in life. You don't need to become a bird in the air or a fish...
Yes. Yes, I get it now. This is the... I'll go and pick out a new hammer right away. No, I should make one of my...
That's our Nahida. Only you would know how to get right to the heart of the problem.
Actually, I didn't really... Huh? I gave him that advice because I once saw a worker doing the same thing. After a moment, he'd start to smile. It really surprised me at the time. My guess is that the names on the handle were of important people to him. After is it because of excitement, anticipation, or helplessness?
Oh, Paimon gets what you mean.
That's why I was a bit nervous just now. But luckily, don't mind me though. This is just my way of learning.
Hey, don't forget about Paimon. Everyone knows that Paimon's also super...
Thanks, you two. That makes me feel a lot better.
I already asked the expert. What should I do if I want to see my deceased wife in my dream?
Longing for the deceased. Even if you keep if your wife were still alive, she's certain...
No. I suppose not. I don't know. Maybe it's because she even remembers each and every dream.
That's really amazing.
It's almost as if my wife has obtained a second life in my dream.
Maybe all of this is rooted in your deep longing for her. Were there any unresolved matters or regrets between the two of you?
I don't know. I suppose my biggest regret is that I really felt like I was ready to move on. I wouldn't be so...
You know, they say that whatever's on your mind...
But dreams are, and will forever be, just dreams. It's not good to be overly...
Yes, I know. That's why And it's probably not good to let her see me in such a state. Anyway, thanks...
I'm a little worried about him. I hope he can find a way to cheer up soon. I think I can handle things from here.
Are you feeling any better now?
Yes. I think the Dendro Archon made a really good point. I need to stop Now that I think about it, my wife and I always meet at a familiar... I know where that place exists in reality. But at the same time, I feel as if I should go and have a look anyway. Otherwise, I'll keep on feeling like everything is covered in a haze. Like I'm only half awake. Once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able to get my life back together. Actually, you two are adventurers, right? If it's okay with you.
Yeah, and even if you can't see your wife there, taking in some nice scenery will definitely help cheer you up.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and get yourself ready then.
Are you... Huh?
Wait, aren't you supposed...
I just finished. And they really got up anyway. It looks like you're going somewhere. What?
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, Great Dendro Archon.
No need to stand on ceremony. Besides, I wanted to use this opportunity to discuss with you some...
Huh. I didn't know the Great Dendro...
I'm not all that different from you.
Go for a leisurely stroll.
Huh. Do adventurers often go to places like this? Huh. I guess so.
So, this is where you always meet your wife in your dreams?
Yes, for the most part. Our place is on the summit. Just when I saw her in my dreams, we didn't do anything but talk about ordinary... I'd tell her about our daughter, Haidar, and she would also reminisce about the past. It feels like no matter how long we may chat...
Sometimes, it's the little things in life that matter.
This is the part I'm a little puzzled. I am very familiar with dreams, and normally, they lack logic, but you said she could remember what you had told her before, right?
That's right. She always listened to me carefully in real life. She always surprises me with some details from our lives in the real world.
Whoa, that's pretty...
However, the problem is that his dreams have too much structure and content. For example, a loud noise outside your window in the real world could cause your dream. Another example. If you're thirsty in the real world, but the appearance of your wife seems in you...
I don't understand it either. But I have no reason to suspect or reject these dreams. They're too beautiful.
But I still want to figure out the how and the why. These kind of dreams are novel to me as well. Let's go. Just think of it as a nice little hike to the top of the mountain.
too slow.
Well, he really wasn't kidding. This place definitely...
No matter. We'll just...
Huh?
Of course. This is all...
Motion to compel.
Swift and merciful. Squall and fury.
That's far enough.
The scenery here is amazing! It also seems like a great spot for Paimon wouldn't mind spending some time.
I've yet to see anything I do not plan to deny the power of...
His wife must be a real... Huh? Wait, where'd he go?
Oh, so you were waiting for me here? Well, guess what? When the Dendro Archon said she wanted to come with me, I'll bring Haidar once I'm more familiar with the way here.
Huh? What's wrong with him? There's nobody there.
Wait, Minar. Don't go that way. It's dangerous.
Uh-oh, he's gonna fall! Catch him!
Luckily he didn't fall. But...
He's in the dream now. What he said just now matches almost perfectly with the dreams he's described.
Oh, so he fell asleep and
I find it a little strange as well, but we mustn't awaken someone while there's...
Huh? Minar. Where's Minar?
Oh, good! You're finally awake!
What happened? Huh? Oh, right. The moment I reached the summit, I saw my wife, Minar, sitting there. After I introduced her to you, she seemed a little flustered and started walking away. And then she seemed to suddenly disappear. A strong wind started to blow around me and the sky grew dark. When I realized something wasn't right, I woke up.
That sounds pretty wild. Maybe you were just too tired.
I don't think so. I slept a lot yesterday, and I don't feel very sleepy now.
Maybe we've affected the way Anyway, all that matters is that...
I think I know what happened now. I'm sorry.
Let's head back now. Don't...
Oh, okay.
Nahida, what's on your mind? Paimon's a little worried now.
We still don't have enough evidence to work off of, so it's hard to draw any reliable conclusions yet. But I'm concerned that Ilmon's case may not be unique to him.
Oh, right! Come to think of it, there were lots of people from the event who had vivid memories of...
Right. And not only at a moment of dreams, there may be people like that. We need to understand what's happening in the...
Then there's no time to lose! Let's head... Stop standing there, Ilmon! Let's go!
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but...
An emergency? How bad it...
Don't worry. If my...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that some... He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened... It's like... Imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Oh, Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry, Paimon accidentally... It's the ballad, but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's had... Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we... There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep, so... How about... Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Andrean chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfied... Also, Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and... What do we... Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what... Is that a food too? Huh. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the balladeer. Is that someone's name? Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this isn't...
It's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell the once renowned Ryzen Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Aminoma, the art of forging practiced by these 5 clans, was first taught to them personally by the almighty Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since... But fortunately, Kaede Harakazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin.
Oh, yeah, we were! We learned a bit about the decline of the Ryzen Gokuden then, too. It's...
That, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, he told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Ryzen Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark... The Ryzen Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard that Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow in his heart. The whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on. Alas, if only the story... Finally, he made a drastic decision. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was but when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for... My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop! Lead the way, traveler!
You want to use my hat as an umbrella? The audacity to...
We're here!
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato,
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato...
We'll be heading in then.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, As for the Commissioner himself...
So pretty much business as usual.
Very much.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love... Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a...
Alright, goodbye for now. We're, great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see.
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now.
Very well. Safe travels.
You're so happy just to see the sun again. How childish.
Behold!
The wind rises.
Well, here we are.
Do my eyes deceive?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. If there's anything you want to know, just ask. Like the back of my head. Not only that, but I've met people in Oh, well, I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations.
A couple? When?
One was just in the last few years, the other would. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Me neither. Paimon did.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up to... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't. I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything. Of course!
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there. Come on, you gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab... All right, let's...
Too slow.
Hey, it's them!
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd...
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh?
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information?
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically...
Wow, so many...
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't...
And they're back at it. These guys are real...
Oh, so sorry.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do. Traveler, Paimon. Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night...
The balladeer? You look troubled. Is there... Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeat. Nevertheless, it does make sense.
So, you believe this person really existed?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivation.
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the balladeer realized he couldn't keep hating humans after that. The story makes sense. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and
Yeah, it does make sense. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do.
Please wait a moment. I want to check. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale? That's...
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything...
Hold on. So this record survived from... the... past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means changing the information in Irminsul changes, but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the...
That's incredible!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present but if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin. The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladier's story to become a god. He was experimented on and modified. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He could...
The Balladier agreed to help me look for information about before he vanished. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy.
This is why wisdom alone cannot... So the answer is not everything. People yearn... When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless... Never forget that even when we walk and that is what you have...
Yeah, Nihita's right. Cheer up.
Good idea. Paimon, what...
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Following me. Quit following me. Too slow.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? flattering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. We can...
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello there.
Ah, so you two are still hanging out together.
I said I was going... The Halmayanis also still post jobs from time to time.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes!
But wait. Didn't you say last there are so many places I still have...
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to...
Oh, come on. Not this again.
I know, I'm sorry.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like... I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days, have you been delaying our trip because you've...
Nah, are you kidding?
Would you swear on that? Friends should... But if something really is bothering...
Oh, looks like Junior...
You're too perceptive, my lady. I just thought that nothing good could... Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora...
That doesn't change anything about what I just...
My lady... All right, I'll share what I know. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, my brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not... However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it.
Oh, you mean the group...
Deshret's relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Ahmar. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety.
I won't go into details, my lady.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and...
That's beyond terrible.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar, if I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become... I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can you...
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real... Of course, the other brigade members were just like him.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother?
Unfortunately... It's all right, my lady. That's pretty... He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remembered it." But the problem was that he had terrible taste. They were tales of desert war.
Sounds like your typical fairy...
More or less, yeah. They were in... He seemed to think those stories were the best things. Even the toys he gave me would all... It was only much later when I realized...
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. Until I grew up and learned the true face. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father... Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never...
I think I can understand your feelings.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. Yeah, I told the boy...
I see.
It is, but every
That may be true, but it'll be
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But there's no need for...
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then
I'm inclined to agree. I'll wait for news from you in the city.
I'm honored that you care so much for... All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot.
What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. What is it? Have you figured... Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh suns. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you... I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay...
No, please. I mean it.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got big...
Leave it to me. I'll find some more.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of...
Great food and great drinks that everyone can enjoy. Treasures I discovered in my...
Welcome! Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we? No, we haven't met. But I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must... Okay, but please let me deliver these...
Are you really working for that guy? He's...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me...
That's oddly nice.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you. okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they...
I was just about to pay you anyway.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, But look, it was pouring down. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of
Thank you. All right, done.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you're trekking across to...
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. But these two claim that they know me.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... I don't like to rely on using terms like this often.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far...
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. If it's that difficult to talk about, but I'll be able to handle it.
Is truth something you care?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. You nearly died because of what other... You drifted from place to place. Actions rooted in persistence.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything. Each choice a person makes
That is the nature of...
It seems like my previous...
We're not trying to hurt your feelings.
If we were enemies, why are you...
This is so frustrating. He's got so much to answer.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust...
Yes, it's all true. I can even...
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your present self great...
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's...
Don't worry. Whatever danger...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we...
Understood.
Thank you.
Don't tell me they did it again.
This looks like Ina's...
Right now, you're in a dream. These memories will...
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to one.
All right.
Wanderer, this...
Is that because this...
You could...
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. No, there's no way. There's someone passed out? You're awake. What? Not a scratch.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichio's adopted son.
And the rest is history.
In the original version of events...
Let me get you out of here.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as the second in command, but Katsuragi had...
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make He kept coughing all the time.
But you can't.
Yup. We're family now.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call. After his mother died, the child... After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child.
What happened to the child?
He died from his illness while he...
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no...
The voices have gone.
Let's keep going.
Our bond is strong!
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that will be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Squall Fury! This isn't good.
Come at me. Put your back into it.
Unsightly insects!
Killjoy! We've all got to speak out.
Swift and merciful! Submit for judgment!
Our bond is strong!
I see through you!
Behold!
Yes, right! Well, that's my work. To be a killjoy!
How amusing!
Miscalculated.
Dissipate!
This place is dark.
in the original version.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar. Hey, look over there!
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me?
What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time?
What a sharp... Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath.
I'm sure you think so, but
Surely you're not...
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this... Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Ryzen Gokaden are still... Look at you. Oh, don't get... By then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with... Forget it.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer.
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Force
my blade.
Our bond is strong.
Behold!
Over here. Blink.
The wind rises. A touch of frost.
Dissipate. Over here. This. Oh, now you've got
Behold.
Shine longer. Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult.
That was gracefully worded.
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps.
Let's move on.
Stand with me!
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, no matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each, as a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to...
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. questions? Churn! Quit following me. Insignificant pest! The wind rises. At my command, you shall fall. Wretched vermin. My endless cycle begins. Nothing worth mentioning. Quit following me. Swollen fury. Insignificant pest! Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me, but don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's a...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, after learning about everything the doctor did, I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the path, what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my...
Utility to others is what gives me worth. Self-embracing... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to...
I'm glad you're able to think of it, Traveler. In the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor, and I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to... I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing. Some things in this world can never... Everything that you feel is real and lasting. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether and...
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal.
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly...
Why?
Because Paimon's still...
Then I hope we don't see much of...
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but the Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name...
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right. If you...
There! Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor.
Now that your stance has changed...
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Ryzen Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, even though the events have been erased from the world...
I see.
Huh? But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they... What's that look for? That day will come. All right. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire...
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, so we can finally go eat?
Thank you both. I hope you will...
I've got it! I can end my novel with some...
You mean because everyone...
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa... The dark clouds had dissipated. Then, one night, as an old man, he had all these expressions of joy melted down. Life is a story too long to be told. A journey...
Behold! Too slow.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes. Wow, good! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like.
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would...
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate. Like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you? How do you know?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing? Anyway, it feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment.